firstly, Luke, an assessment from you of the day's play and the position this test is heading into the final day.
Yeah, it was a pretty good day. I think sort of three parts. It was obviously quite difficult for us to take wickets and put a bit of pressure on their batters. But then leading into tomorrow, I think all three results are possible if we bat with some good intent there and sort of make the most of opportunities to score. Then we certainly believe we can chase it down. But then also from the Indian point of view, they'll be going in full of confidence that they can stop us from doing that. So there's not a whole lot of turn on the surface. I don't think many people expected the surface sort of play and hold up the way it has, but there is a little bit of variable bounce, so that's going to be the main thing to contend with, I think.
You mentioned earlier on with the ball today, I mean, you had the 55 for 5, so some really good bowling by, I suppose, the whole unit in the first session, but potentially, a moment lost and trying to really knock them over there as well.
Yeah, I think so. I think when you're sort of rolling with that sort of momentum, we had a fantastic first hour and a half, whatever it was, and then they put on some partnerships, which you expect in any sort of cricket, especially international cricket. So it was more about us sort of sticking to what we were doing then and trying our best to do it for long periods of time. They put up some partnerships and got themselves to a total and a time left in the game where they think they can defend it and bowl us out as well. So I think it's going to be a really exciting final day of the test.
And just quickly, if on your pace bowlers, Kyle Jamieson obviously has 50 test wickets record, and Tim Southey's been strong. I think they've taken almost 14 wickets in this test so far. What does it say about them and I suppose their skills in these conditions?
Well, I think coming into a test in India, you're sort of not expecting the surface to hold up quite the way it has. So the efforts they've put in for us to take the wickets they have at crucial times as well they've been amazing. I think they've just kept coming the whole entire time and tried hard and toiled away with trying to get the ball to move in different ways and come up with different plans to try and take wickets. And for us so far, they've done that quite well for us. So it's always nice watching fast bowlers come in India and dominate and do really well. So it's always fantastic from that point of view for us, definitely.
And just last question before I pass it across to the media. And if you'd like to ask a question, please raise your hand in the chat. Just looking ahead to tomorrow in the tactics, I think you mentioned that you still see all three results on the table. So what would be your message to the batsmen ahead of tomorrow?
It's actually been about positive. It's just in terms of trying to get off strike, being strong in our defensive positions as well, and understand that you sort of take a bit of a leaf from the Indian batters and the way they played it, where they had some positivity in their footwork and their scoring options, and that's what we need to do as well to change fields and sort of bring that momentum in our favour, and then hopefully as time rolls on through the game, the more you do it, the lower I guess the total becomes that you're chasing, and just staying positive in a mindset and going from there really.
All good. We don't seem to have anyone online from back in New Zealand. So we've got one question there Niharika, if you want to go, and then Shriram Vera to finish. Cheers.
Hi, Luke. Niharika this side. My question for you is that you were a part of the playing 11 when the Kanpur test was here in 2016, and you were a part of the coaching staff in 2021. So what will be your message for the batters as they go into the last day tomorrow?
It's about staying positive. I think, like I said before, it's more about defensively and attacking sort of options to know that if the Indian bowlers sort of miss where they want to bowl, we're able to score, and when they bowl their good balls, we can defend them. And it's about just going out with a positive attitude and mindset, and that can bring us closer to chasing the total that we need to. And I think that's a massive part of playing cricket in India. The more you sort of sit back and think that bowlers are going to make errors, more often than not they don't. So we've actually got to take the game to them a little bit more and be positive in our movements and scoring options and sort of rotating strike and things like that. So that's going to help us go a long way tomorrow to chasing the game down or batting as long as we need to tomorrow anyway.
Hi, Luke. I just wanted to ask about the Will Young dismissal. Did he tell you what happened? And more importantly, did he say about the DRS timer rule says that the umpire also has to inform the batsman once 10 seconds gets over. They say that you only have 5 seconds to go. Did the umpire say? Did he say anything about that?
So I haven't spoken to Young about the situation. Obviously, from our point of view, a bit disappointed the way it worked out, I guess, with being given out. But also, when we look up on the big screen with the timer, he was after the timer had run out. So I think that was sort of a bit of both sort of notions there. Obviously, a time in the game where you don't want to be losing wickets and it's quite tense and things like that. But I think the whole situation, I guess, you look at our point of view from it, we're a bit disappointed, but then also you understand that he did actually tee it up after the timer had finished.
All right. Thanks, everyone. We'll wrap it up there unless there's any other questions. Thank you.